Well, a hearty good evening to you. It is time once again, ladies and gentlemen, for Champ Brothers, Bubba's Big Broadcast, ChampCast, whatever you want to call it, but mainly,
Let's talk some Southern gospel.
yes, look, who's back? No, see, I did it wrong. There's Neil right there. Give him a big hand.
There's
He's
Chris
back
over
from
there.
the south of France, or wherever, south of somewhere. I don't know where it was, but
You didn't even try to
anyway.
pronounce Parlez-vous français that I put in there last week.
No, no, it was Parlez-vous Franco, yes, or something like that if I tried to say it. But
I was
anyway.
asking you if you could speak French. That's what that says. Do you speak French?
Oh, well, no.
I don't. I don't either. Google told
French
me what that
fries,
was.
maybe, but
Yeah, that's something we know about.
indeed. Well, I'm glad you're back. Hope you had a good trip wherever it was that you went. So
Thank you, sir. We were relaxing down. We were south, just not south of France, but we were down in Florida, just getting away from the house for a week. So,
it's always such a joy when Neil will just call me or something like that and just say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm in Orlando." Oh, okay. Well, I mean, not that you have to tell me where you have to report back in with me or
right.
anything like that, but
Well, it doesn't happen as often as it once did when I was traveling for work all the time, and you really
yeah.
never knew where I'd be calling from then.
Oh no, absolutely not. So I'm just checking things to make sure that we're on like we're supposed to be. We're a little bit out
Okay.
of practice on the live thing with, so yeah, we're good. So
Yeah. Is
all right.
both people on there that usually watch?
Well,
Oh,
it
well,
says
we'll
six are
see.
on here right now,
Okay.
so
All right. We'll just go with it then.
it's like bless their heart, six people with nothing better to do than watch a couple of Champion Brothers on a Thursday night
Mm-mm. Just
when
talking some Southern gospel.
our buddy Les Butler is on with doing a special deal with the Williamsons right now too. I had to apologize to him, so I was like, we didn't
Uh-oh.
mean to schedule against you, but
Yeah. Well, that's what that recording and it being out there later is all about. They can see
oh
both.
yes, yes, that's it indeed. I got the Braves on; they're losing right now, so.
Oh, well. It's just me in here. There ain't nothing on but me and you.
Oh, okay, all right. You
And
know
a
me,
little bitty light.
I gotta have overstimulation. I gotta have about
Sure.
16 things going on at the same
Right.
time. So.
For it to feel normal. Yeah, that's right.
But also want to give a big old shout out to brother cousin Scott for sitting in for you last week. We just had a good time. Main topic of conversation was FFA quartet and through the years, and had a good time. Told a few stories and all that kind of thing. But put appreciate him being willing to step in. It wasn't quite last minute, but kind of close. But anyway,
Right, right. Yeah, I
I
kind of
thought
had
he
a
did a
feeling. I kind of feeling that he would fill that gap unless he had an absolute conflict, and he
oh
did
yeah.
did a great job. And I just was not in a place with proper connection to be able to stream live, even though I could get a little bit of the playing and watching in there. So that's why you
Yeah.
heard me from me on the chat a time or two. But yeah, y'all did a great job. I was glad he was able to join in there.
And as always, we are live tonight. So if you want to drop a comment in there, we'll give you a shout out, just like we're giving Boo Shaw right now. He says it
There you
sound.
go.
He did some kind of. I guess that's an emoji or something that didn't show up, but says it
Uh
sounds
oh.
good on the south end of the county, Lamar. That is. So
There you go.
glad to have Billy with us tonight. Appreciate you.
Well, you said as always. It's really as usually. We're not always live, but it's as usually live.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we're live when we're doing it every time. We ain't done a dead one yet, so
That's true. That's
we're
true.
doing all right.
But we want to talk about right off the top of the show tonight is to talk about a special event that's coming up on July 23rd. Tell them about it.
Yes, sir. We're going to have another Southern Gospel Night at the Fayette Civic Center right there in Fayette, Alabama. We're having this time the Lefevre Quartet is coming to
Look, there
town.
they are now.
Yes, sir. Some faces that many of you that have followed Southern Gospel will definitely recognize. And but just a solid traditional sounding Southern Gospel quartet that will, I guarantee you, will put us in a praise and worship kind of mode. See how I done that? But it's Southern Gospel, real Southern Gospel that's going to put us in that
Yes.
mode. But yeah, we just continuing what started is just kind of my dream of just I want to see that place full for a Southern Gospel concert, and we're going to,
Mm-hmm.
as long as we have the means to keep trying, we're going to keep trying, and then if we fill it up, then we're going to try to do it 2 times in a row, and then
Let me
three
get.
times in a row.
Yep. Let me give you a word of encouragement.
Do
Um,
that.
this past Tuesday. Let's see,
Hmm.
what is today? Thursday? Yeah.
I think so. Was this morning?
I'm going. This is a wild week because the water park opens Saturday, day after
Mm,
tomorrow. So
yeah.
I don't know up from down this week. But Tuesday was election day, and the Fayette Chamber of Commerce had their regular monthly meeting. It just happened to fall on that same day, and their special guest speaker was James Spann.
Really?
Yes, and so
James the Man Span.
I asked my boss if I could run down there and see James for a little bit. He's helped me out tremendously at the water park and a lot of other ways through the
Uh huh.
years.
Okay.
And we had probably at our singing back in March with the Dixie Echoes about twice as many people that was there to see James Spann, and that just blew me away. So
My goodness. Wow.
there was maybe about 50 to 75 people there, and I was like, man, they didn't get the word out too good. So
Must not.
when we
Must
can
not.
outdraw James Spann, I was like, I need to tell Neil that he'll get some encouragement out of that.
For
Hopefully, so.
sure. We're heading in the right direction. Absolutely.
But yeah, I just that amazed me a little bit. But enjoyed hearing James. He was speaking that night as the commencement speaker at Thompson High School, and
Oh,
so he
okay.
told us he was just going to try out his commencement speech on us. So it was
Okay.
a wonderful, wonderful little talk there, and always good to see James. So
Cool. Yeah. Thompson
but
High
anyway,
School just right down the street from my house, right here in
yeah,
Alabaster, Alabama.
yeah. But they graduated at Legacy Arena downtown
Oh,
from
did
there.
they? Had
So
the
yeah,
arena down there. Okay.
I guess it was.
Wow.
They get, well, they're a 7A school, so I'm sure it's a mighty big class. So
Oh, yeah. Want to get
they just
everybody
was
in there.
spreading out room there. So,
Yep.
but
Yep.
anyway, that didn't cost you any extra. But just talking about the singing coming up on July 23rd with the Lefevre Quartet. Hope that y'all will be there. No admission charge.
That's right.
Just come on, enjoy it. You will. I mean, it's a singing, so you know we're gonna pass a hat at some point if you want to give something to help defray the expenses. But we just want folks to come out and enjoy it. It's like our CDs that we sell with Faithful Friends. I say, if you want to give us something, fine. If you don't, fine. Just, we'd rather get the word of God out than make any kind of money, because we certainly ain't in it for that. So
That's right. That's right. Come, bring somebody with you, tell somebody about it, and just put it down, make it a point. You're going to be doing something that night. You might as well be there with us enjoying some Southern gospel music. Chosen Witness will sing a few, Faithful Friends will sing a few, and then you'll hear a whole lot of Lefevre Quartet. So it'll be a
absolutely.
good night.
But once again, we've had some more folks join us. Feel free to comment and tell us where you're watching or listening to us from. And we'd
Hmm.
love to hear from all of our friends and neighbors and all that kind of good stuff. But Neil, I was lost as a ball in tall weeds last week because you always do such a good job of putting the show together every week. I was just like, what do we do now?
You mean like write down a few scribbling notes that helps us fly by the seat of our pants a little better? Is that what
Well,
you mean
yeah,
by putting the
exactly.
show together?
I didn't have that last week. I mean,
Oh, okay.
you've brought order and structure into my life.
Well, then let's structure our way right on into a little real Southern gospel music. How about that?
Yes, and before we do, hey to Rodney Holman.
Hey,
He's
Rodney. Glad you're
Gordo's
listening, man.
listening.
That's
So
right.
there you go. Glad to have you with us.
When I think of Southern gospel and think about us growing up, what do I think of? I think of the Bryant Brothers Quartet, and I'd like to
Hmm.
play another Bryant Brothers. They were just they were our heroes when we were growing up.
Absolutely.
We heard about these big groups out there, but to us, the big group was the Bryant Brothers Quartet, and
Hmm.
it was it was always an honor to see them, to hear them, to listen to them, to hear them tell stories, to hear them sing. And let's do that right now. Instead of me talking, let's play the Bryant Brothers Quartet, a song that was originally done, I think, maybe by the Blackwood Brothers, I think, and some of the bigger quartets, maybe back in the 60s, did this song. But to us, man, at that time, it was a Bryant Brothers song.
Yep, absolutely. Come on and ride this train. Let's hear it. If I can get the buttons going here.
Ride that glory train, ride that glory train, ride. There's a train that's heaven bound, it's right on time. All the saints of God are riding on this line. Jesus paid your fare upon a cross one day, so that you may share the joy of heaven's way. Come on and ride. Come on and ride. Come on and ride this train. Come on and ride, 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 ride. Across the wide plain. It is running right on time, don't hesitate. Get aboard and ride it to the pearly gates. Come on and ride, 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 ride. Come on and ride. Come on and ride this train. When you hear the whistle blowing, don't delay. Have your ticket ready and be on your way. Jesus is a great conductor all the way. Come aboard and ride it to a brighter day. Come on and ride, 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 ride. Come on and ride. Come on and ride this train. Come on and ride, 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 ride. Across the wide, wide plain. It is running right on time, don't hesitate. Get aboard and ride into the pearly gates. Come on and ride, 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 ride. Come on and ride. Come on and ride this train. Ride that glory train, ride that glory train, ride.
Yes, sir, Bryant Brothers. I'm loving me some that. That's come on and ride that train here on the big broadcast this evening. Get everything back to where it's supposed to be there. Oh, I mean, that just,
Isn't
I'm
that
gonna put
fine?
that picture back for just a second. But you talk about heroes. There's five of my probably top seven heroes in my life right there.
Mm-hmm.
Standing from left to right, Pat and Floyd and Irby, and they're all Bryants, the Bryant brothers. And Ray Robinson down there on the end, on the far right, and then Mr. Burnett Skelton playing the piano there, or sitting at the piano in that picture. He played it, but that was in Wayman and Gale Field's living room in Millport, where they used to live, where they don't live now. But
Yep.
and around, and kind of going back to last week in FFA Quartet, that was where we would stand and practice FFA Quartet stuff back in the day. So
That's
it
right.
was around
Sure
all
would.
about that same time, late '70s, early '80s, I think, is when they did that one. But man, alive, I might play it
Fine
again
stuff.
just for the fun of it.
I hear you. I hear you. Hey, let me give a
Oh,
quick shout out, and that's to my nephew, Dylan Brazel's listening tonight.
hey,
Hey,
Dylan.
if I can get any of the nieces or nephews listening to Southern Gospel, I'm all about it, buddy. So
Yes,
glad you
look at
listened.
him. There's here, and the sweetie is
Sweetie, getting married just right around the corner here, and
what
just
is it
it's
they
just a
say,
matter of
old
weeks
brother?
now.
Is fiance.
There you go. Hey, that's French, ain't it?
I don't know.
You said you couldn't speak French.
Well, I can't, but I can watch old brother. Where art thou?
Anyway, Bryant Brothers heroes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, the earliest recording that I found of that song was I believe was the Blackwood Brothers
Yeah.
back in the '60s. But yeah, to you and I, Bryant Brothers song all the way. Let's see,
Absolutely.
67. Yeah, of course the Cathedral Quartet did it. I remember George and Glenn doing it.
Oh yeah, they did it on that radio. Was it Radio Favorites or something like that?
Right.
That they did.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the Stamps Quartet. I said Blackwood Brothers. I think actually the Stamps Quartet was the original one that did it, and
Yeah.
it followed soon after by the Blackwood Brothers. But anyway, that's some real Southern gospel right there, no doubt about it. So
Hey, let's put. I don't know. I don't know whether I got it or not. We'll
you
just
ain't got the
slap
stamp. You can put it
We'll
up there.
slap the seal of approval.
There it
on
is.
that.
It
Some
is.
certified real Southern gospel.
And if you want to hear some, listen to Real Southern Gospel Radio streaming on the internet. You're liable to hear Les Butler. You're liable to hear none other than Chris Champion while you're on there. And let me tell you, they're playing some mighty fine music. Real Southern Gospel.
That's how you can get it. You can go to realsoutherngospel.com or search for the Real Southern Gospel Radio app on your mobile device and listen in. Started just a few weeks ago where I'm still not live on the air, but it sounds a little bit more live than it did when I first started back in February. But I get every morning now, I record about 4 hours worth and just have a chat. And always I'm asking Les set me up a real Southern Gospel email address, and I'd love to hear from you. If you do get a chance to listen in, shoot me an email sometime. Let me know where you're listening from or who some of your favorite artists or songs are, and maybe give us a request. We might get that on there too. But there's the email address that you can send it to, champ@realsoutherngospel.com.
Guaranteed to hear some good stuff. I was thinking about some songs to share this week, and one that came to my mind was a song that, it wasn't necessarily a big hit in gospel music, but to me, it was a song that touched me, and therefore I remembered it because it really spoke to me. It was a song by Poet Voices from several years back, I think on the Rhythm and Rhyme project. But it was a song called "Go Ahead, Lord." And just listen to these words, and if you are saved, if you know Jesus, and this song doesn't move you, check your pulse.
Yeah, go get checked.
Yeah, right.
Let's listen to it. "Go Ahead, Lord" from Poet Voices. That's Poet Voices and Go Ahead, Lord. That is a good song. I had forgotten about that one. I didn't quite remember it, but once I started hearing it, it came back to me. And that's Poet Voices. That was off their, because when they started the group, they did, each album had a volume number on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was from volume 6, I think it was.
Yep.
I was
Poet
trying to remember.
Voices,
I know
volumes.
that's Channing Ellington in the middle that played piano, and then Phil is on the left there as you're looking at it, and Howard on the right. And I, for the life of me, can't remember the name of the bass singer and the tenor singer. But
The
it was,
bass was Mike something. It was
yeah,
a bass singing Mike, and I can't remember that particular tenor. But first time I ever heard that song, we were live. They were singing down in Montgomery, which is, about an hour and a half south of where we live, and we actually went down there and heard them. And at that time, I hadn't heard the recording, and they opened the program that night with it, man. And that song stuck to me. Let me tell you,
yeah,
and it has. One of them I pull it out and go to, and just saying "Go ahead, Lord," hearing that song right then made me think of our brother in Christ, Les Butler, that I believe did just that. I think he said, "Just go ahead, Lord," and he picked up the horns of real Southern gospel radio and took off, and is just getting that music out there. And I believe being led of the Lord. I think so.
yep,
There's my two
absolutely.
cents worth.
And Les is one of those. He doesn't abide by the old adage. What is it? He that tooteth not his own horn, the same shall not be tooteth. But
Okay.
he's in the top 5 for the Paul Heil Legacy Award for the radio broadcasters and the Singing News Fan Award. So, and I don't know about anybody else, but I think a lot of that is because of what he is doing with Real Southern Gospel Radio. So, if you are so inclined and you are a subscriber to Singing News Magazine or Singing News TV, you can vote, and I'd appreciate it if you'd vote for my buddy Les. So kind
Yeah.
of like my boss man now, but I was so honored last summer when he called and told me about this idea that he had and wanted to know if I wanted to be a part of it. And I'm like, shoot, yeah, sign me up. So I'm just loving getting to play the real Southern gospel music every day. So.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. And no, we're not going political because we're talking about voting. That's not it. So,
Oh no,
uh,
we finished that
yeah.
Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The funniest thing, Neil, it hit me, but in 2010, I came back to WLDX here in Fayette in 2009. Well, in 2010, we started doing election returns, so I've been doing it pretty much every other year since 2010, and had to do it. Well, I didn't have to. I got to do it again this past Tuesday night, and they have it in the courtroom at the Fayette County Courthouse. Well, back in 2010, probate judge William Oswalt, then I walked in. I said, where can I set up? And he said, go up there and sit in the judge's chair. It scared me to death. And so it's a tradition unlike
Man.
any other. Every time I do election returns, I get to sit up in the judge's chair and stare at everybody sitting out in the benches waiting to hear the election returns.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And then the other night
Pretty
when we
cool.
was there, our circuit judge Sam Junkin and our district judge Merrill Nolan were both there, and I told them, I said, "Boy, I'm scared sitting up here in y'all seat."
I can imagine for
Yeah.
sure.
Buddy
Wow.
Shaw wanted to know, when did the Lefevres originate? Now that's a tricky question, Boo, because he says the wide world of Google said 2006, but he has a cassette dated 1991, so I know '06 is right, but the Lefevres is a name that has been around for many, many, many years, probably going back to the 40s or 50s
Hmm.
with Eva Mae and Alphas. And I know there's some more that I can't bring to my mind, front of my mind right now.
Right.
But they were a traveling group, back in the heyday, if you will, of Southern gospel music. And then Rex Nealon joined them at one point, and then eventually Rex Nealon took over the group as the other ones decided they wanted to step aside. And the Lefevres, as they were then, became the Rex Nealon Singers, which today are the Nealons. And
Right.
but I think it's kind of like Blackwoods. There's several different Blackwood quartets through the years. So I'm guessing if you've got a cassette from 1991, it was one of those branches of Lefevre's, or it was a reissue of the classic Lefevre's from back in the 50s or 60s. That's my guess. I don't know that for a fact, but
Yeah, I think
the
you're spot on.
the Rex Nealon singers basically were the Lefevres, and then eventually changed their name after the original Lefevre members had stepped away. They sang as the Lefevres for a short time before they changed their name to the Rex Nealon Singers. So it could be that era. It could have been called that, but it was actually and it could have been a re-release of that group that became the Rex Nealon Singers. But the
Right.
Lefevre Quartet, I think that is right. The ones that are coming to Fayette in July, I think they did start in 2006. Because I know in 1991, Mike Lefevre was either still with, I can't remember if he had left Gold City then, and I know he sang with Brian Free and Assurance when they first started, but I don't remember the exact dates of that right off the top of my head. But so anyway, that's a long way around the world to say yes. I think that's true that Lefevre Quartet started around 2006, and before that was other groups just called the Lefevres. Is
Right.
that confusing enough?
Oh no, man! You was all on it. You mentioned Rex Nealon was part of the Lefevres. There's a few others that names that people that like Southern gospel music might remember that were at one time part of the Lefevres. One of those is Hovey Lister.
Oh
Was
yeah.
once part of the Lefevres.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, another one was, of course, Rex's daughter Kelly was. Later. How about Dr. Jerry Goff? He was once a part of the Lefevres.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Janet Pascal.
Janet Pascal, once a part of the Lefevres. That's right. So
Urias, that's the other Lefevre that I was trying to think of a while ago.
right.
And it couldn't come into my brain quick enough. So
Yeah, and I think they are uncles, I believe, of Mike Lefevre that has the Lefevre
Right.
Quartet. He and his son Jordan Lefevre are part of the
Mhm.
today's Lefevre Quartet. So that's that's a good one, Boo. That took us in a good direction there.
a couple of other shout outs. Megan Edgeworth says that she can't watch now, but will later, and remember her in prayer. So appreciate you listening in, Megan. And your boss lady says, let us hear from you with comments or let us know where you're watching or listening to us from. We'd appreciate that. So
That's right.
chime
That's right.
in. So,
Hey, another song that came to my mind this week was one that you at one time were quite familiar with because you sang it. And I
Okay.
always enjoyed this song. Tell a little bit about the time, during the years you were in Nashville, you had an opportunity to sing as a part of a quartet, and y'all made an album, right? And this song was
Yes.
on that album. So when that was like late '90s, I guess, is when
Well,
that
no, it
was.
was actually more mid 90s,
Mid '90s, okay.
early to mid 90s, because I moved to Nashville in 92 and worked for, it was then called Reach Satellite Network, from August of 92 until April of 93, when I was a middleman in a falling out between a couple of people. We won't tell all of that story, but as people, you're not a real radio person if you hadn't been fired 2 or 3 times. But I was fired from Real Southern Gospel. No, I hadn't been
Not
fired from there
yet.
yet. I was fired from Reach Satellite Network. Because of a whole bunch of stuff that's water under the bridge and everything's okay now. But after I left there, I went to work for New Day Christian Distributors, which is also the company, the lady Dottie Leonard Miller has the Daywind recording label and the Daywind soundtracks that everybody knows about. And so they were wanting to do some tracks of some different songs, and we did it. And so kind of just took a poll around folks and just started asking, okay, well, who sings? Would y'all be interested in doing a Daywind quartet? I'm like, sure, yeah, sign me up. And it was me and Wayne Hahn, who was a producer
Producer.
extraordinaire, and I think he's still on Solid Gospel Radio now. Michael Brashear, the singing Brashear family from Arkansas. And we actually had 2 different bass singers, and shoot, I can't think, Daryl, and I cannot remember Daryl's last name.
Uh-oh.
He was there and I think did one song with us, but then around the time that we were doing recording, he left New Day and took another job. So a fellow named Richard Harris came in and finished that album with us. And Richard checks in with us from time to time. I don't know if he's seeing this live or not, but he can probably tell as much about it as I can. So we went into a studio with Terry Thompson, who his wife Rhonda was the radio promoter at Day Wind. But Terry and Kevin Williams had a recording studio together. And so we went in, they did all the tracks, and then we went in, recorded, and I cried just because of the pressure of recording in Nashville. But it turned out all right. But this is actually a Rusty Goodman song, if I remember right, that Wayne brought to the table. And I hadn't listened to this one in a while. I don't know if I really want to play it or not, but you told me to, so I will.
Do. I like it. Good song.
But yeah, this is a Rusty Goodman song called "To Be Honest with You."
I don't know why Jesus had to go to Calvary. Had I been the only one left to save, he still would have died for me. Oh, I feel so unworthy of his grace every time I cross the line. I say, Lord, I don't deserve you. And he wipes away my tears. And he puts his hand in mine. And he says, to be honest with you, I can't remember. I don't know the sinner you are speaking of. My memory, and a multitude of sins were covered by love. It's a mystery that Jesus still can see far beyond my sin. I've rejected him so long, and I've fallen many times since I gave in. But when I'm at my lowest, hope is gone, and my human eyes can't see. He says love is where you'll find it, just let go, and you can find yourself in me. To be honest with you, I can't remember. I don't know the sinner you are speaking of. On Calvary, I lost my memory. And a multitude of sins were covered by love. So don't look back on that old story. Just look ahead. I'm coming in glory to receive you to myself for all eternity, forever to be honest with you.
I thought Neil might comment. I didn't want to, but
I definitely will, to be honest with you. Man, I'm smiling as big as I was the first time I ever heard it. Man, man,
but
man.
yeah, I was sitting here thinking it was Chip, and I can't remember Chip's last name, but he was the more or less the producer of that,
Oh,
and
okay.
that was the first time I'd ever, done a recording and had somebody like that who was, making me do it over and over and over and over and over again, because he was just trying to, make the best recording that he could and pull the best out of all of us.
Sure.
And but yeah, that was an interesting journey. I While that was playing, I sent a message to Richard Harris and asked him if he remembered it, and but I hadn't heard back from him. But
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
that was some good time. And I was thinking too, that probably was around 94, 95,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Because I want to say in 96 is when I went back. By that time, it was called Solid Gospel. And I was back there from 96 to 99. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that was some good times. So,
Yeah. Well, it's not like y'all traveled the country every weekend on a bus or
no,
nothing.
we actually sung in front of people one time. And
Really?
that was at the Quartet Convention one year. Daywin had a showcase, and they wanted us to sing a song. And they sent out some radio singles, which I thought was quite hilarious. Uh, but yeah, we only sung in front of, and I think we only sung one song or maybe two at a Daywin showcase at NQC. So that was
Wow.
definitely just a one off kind of a deal. So
Yeah. Well,
I want
cool.
to say hey to some more folks. Kay Shackelford
Hey, Kay.
says hey. Kay, I missed you at Mount Zion Sunday. Faithful friend sung at Mount Zion, but our daddy Avon was there. Always
Oh,
good to
good.
visit with bonus daddy Avon, so
That's right.
got to see him.
Good deal.
Judy Armstrong, listening from Lakeland, Florida, or watching from Lakeland, Florida tonight, enjoying the show as usual, but it's no show. We'll play that song sometime too. So,
Okay. Yeah.
so
All
there
right.
you go. Glad to have y'all with us tonight. So,
Good deal. How about we go back and get another one from, from back home way?
all right.
Another one that I kind of pulled out was one of them records that I found on my LP searching around thrift stores and flea markets and all this. I came across an album of the Bryant Trio. We
Yeah.
played the Bryant Brothers Quartet earlier. Now this is the Bryant Trio, which was Miss Gail Fields, Miss Mavis Bryant. She was Gail Bryant and then became Fields, and then her husband Wayman were the Bryant Trio. And I guess this was maybe recorded in what, late '60s, maybe, or mid late '60s,
I'm
early
going to defer to you
'70s.
on that, but
I'm
yeah,
just guessing
probably.
totally. I don't know for sure, but yeah, this is a song I pulled off later. And it was a really old record that hadn't been cared for that well over the years, but I think we got it good enough that we can play some of it. Looking back, I saw where the Harvesters, I think, is who originally released this song back in '64. So the song is called "The Answer's on the Way."
All right, here it is from the Bryant Trio.
Many times I bowed beneath the heavy load, and on bended knees God a prayer to pray. As I knelt there on the floor, He'd remind me just once more that the answer was already on the way.
Oh yes, the answer's on the way, this I know. Jesus said it, I believe it, and it's so. Our Heavenly Father knows the need before we pray, and we can rest assured the answer's on the way.
If there's a special need within your life, my friend, and you're seeking for an answer day by day, if by faith you start believing, mighty soon you'll be receiving, for the answer is already on the way.
Oh yes, the answer's on the way, this I know. Jesus said it, I believe it, and it's so. Our Heavenly Father knows the need before we pray, and we can rest assured the answer's on the way. Oh yes, the answer's on the way, this I know. Jesus said it, I believe it, and it's so. Our Heavenly Father knows the need before we pray, and we can rest assured the answer's on the way.
Sorry, got too much pointing and clicking going on there.
That's all right. That's
The
all
answer's on the
right.
way. The Bryant Tree. That was quicker than I thought it was.
It was pretty quick.
And I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. Is that Mr. Wayman's autograph on there?
I
But
don't, I don't think
kind
so.
of looks like some W's in there somewhere. But
I think that's kind of part of that long life that particular album lived. I think so.
did you say that you found that at a thrift store, or that's one that y'all had?
No, no, I actually found that at a thrift store. Yeah,
Wow, that's cool.
some not really close to home either. It was somewhere that I'd have never guessed I'd have come across a Bryant Trio album, but I
Oh
did.
yeah.
And I mean, we talked about how the Bryant brothers were our heroes, but I mean, Mr. Wayman and Miss Gail Fields had a lot to do with us and our love of Southern gospel music growing up as
Hmm.
well. Mr. Wayman working with us in the FFA quartet, and then of course just their family and our family and the Bama Boys singing together for years. I didn't show it as a teenager like I should, but I had the utmost respect for their children, Marshall, Anita, and Tim, that sang
Yep.
and that went to school with us, and it was always a joy when we got to sing with the Fields family. I was always a little
Hmm.
nervous because they
Oh
so
yeah.
good, and I'd
Oh
afraid we'd
yeah.
mess up, when we was around the Fields family. But no, always good memories associated with the Wayman Fields family.
And I know I've said it on here before, but if it wasn't for Mr. Wayman, I wouldn't know anything about shape notes, and I'd still hate convention singing. So,
Yeah. Yep.
but
Yep.
I
It
love
was,
going to them now. But I mean, hardly anybody's doing any anymore. But that was some good times. So,
it was eye opening when we attended that training school and or that singing school to train us on shape notes. And it was just like the light went on in our head when we
oh yeah,
learned what that was really all about. Hey, you can really just look at that shape and know and know what to sing,
do you
So
still
it
have your
was,
show altar book?
I can't say that I do.
I
No,
want to
I
say
can't
that
say
I've
that I,
got one somewhere. I don't know if it's in my stuff here or if it's still at Mom's house or what. But yeah,
really.
I can still see it every time I say show altar book. I see that green cover with the black writing on it and
Right.
the text inside and all that kind of good stuff. And I mean, telling you how to direct and all that kind of stuff too. But
Yeah.
yep,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was some wonderful times.
Yeah, for sure.
Boo said that the title of that album is as good as it gets too. So
All right.
in
Maybe
the
we'll
upper
bring that
room.
one. Maybe we'll bring that one on one week.
Yep. But
That's-
and that one, take that off. But see that the praying hands.
Uh-huh.
Did you notice it? We were talking about the Bryant brothers was in Wayman and Gail's living
Oh,
room.
look at
Right
there.
there. I
I'll
don't know
be.
if I mean I
I
don't
didn't
think it's
even
the
catch
exact
that.
it's the exact same, but it was like,
Right.
well, there's a theme for you.
For sure. Yeah, I
Bryant's
like
and
that.
praying hands. So yep, I thought that was pretty cool. So,
That is good. That is good. Let's see, has it been 2 hours yet? The time usually flies. No, it
about
hadn't.
40 minutes, a little over 40 minutes. But
Let's keep talking. Well,
okay,
there's a singing coming up in July. We want to remind everybody about. We're going to have singings going forward. We want it just to be a regular thing for you in March and July and November that you're going to come to the Fayette Civic Center. All right.
yep,
And so we had one in March. We're going to have one in July. We're going to have one in November. But now July 23rd, Lefebvre Quartet's coming to town, and y'all please come. I mean, if I could see you, I'd look you in the eye and beg you. I just come and be a part of that. And we're not selling tickets, so it's not about trying to make a whole lot of money. Okay, we're going to give opportunity to try to cover the expenses because there's expenses for having something like that. But we just, as long as we can do it and have the resources to do it, we're gonna keep them coming, and just come and show us that you want it and that you
yep,
support us doing it, and that you come and be a part. And of course, the greatest thing of all would be for us to get somebody that's never accepted Jesus there and let that music penetrate their heart, the Lord using that music, and for folks to get saved as a result of that. That's obviously the ultimate goal.
absolutely.
But in doing that and furthering the gospel, this music is really the way that I like to try and do that, and to help to try to do that is through this Southern gospel music. So anyway, I won't get on too big a roll, but Fayette Civic Center, July 23rd, 6 p.m. Won't
And
cost
while
you a
you're going
dime.
ahead and putting stuff on your calendar, it wouldn't hurt none to go ahead and put November 19th on your calendar because, like Bill
That's right.
said, we've got them lined up every 4 months for a good little while now. And in November 19th, which the easy way to remember that this year is that is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, we'll have Endless Highway with us, and I cannot wait because I haven't seen them in person before, and I just can't wait to visit with them and get to know them a little bit, and hopefully their dogs won't be howling in the background like they are now. But
Yeah, they may that name may not be as widely known as like a name like Lefevre for Lefevre Quartet, but we just want y'all to take our word for it and to come. If you like Southern gospel music, you will be blessed. You will leave with a smile on your face. Trust us and be there that night to come and hear Endless Highway. You'll hear a lot of good picking. They all the whole family, mom, dad, son, daughter plays instruments. You'll hear some of the best singing you ever heard. I mean, they'll sing some songs with tracks too. And but yeah, just come. And that's in November. So we're going to get on the other side of Lefevre Quartet, and then we'll be talking a whole lot more about that, about Endless Highway coming to town in November.
But as I used to say, it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and set it down on your calendar now, so that
Yes,
you won't
write it
forget
down.
about it. Because
Yes,
it's always, no matter how hard we try, or no matter how many different ways we use to get the word, try to get the word out, inevitably somebody will say, "Well, I didn't know about that. I wish I'd have known about that." So.
right, right.
Tell your friends and neighbors about it, and hopefully you can be there in July and then again in November at the Fayette Civic Center. So.
Yep. Well, we was talking about you one time for a while there being in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes.
And during that time, you met a fella that I then got to meet as well, a man named Brandon Porter, or Butch, as
Butch.
you always called him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both. I don't know why. I don't remember how that got started, but I called him Butch and he calls me Butch. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, you met Brandon. Brandon wound up being the first bass singer ever for our quartet, Chosen Witness, the group that we started. We're in our 26th year now, so we got 25 full years behind us. And when we first got started, Brandon was actually moving from Nashville down to the Birmingham area to attend seminary, and we met, and we had just started Chosen Witness as a trio. And he moved down here just a couple of months later. And so, bam, we were a quartet. So Brandon sang with us for a couple of years. It was good to get to know him. But another thing that he and I did over the next few years, even after he was, had gone on to do other things in the ministry and was not part of Chosen Witness, was we started a little radio thing, syndicated radio thing called Worldwide Southern Gospel. And it was all about me thinking about, the internet was really just taking off and being a thing that people would have at their house, and they'd know what there was, and they'd use email and so thinking about getting music out there that and introducing people to MP3 files that you could download and listen to, and that you could even over the internet, you could find music that you could listen to. That was kind of the idea of worldwide Southern gospel. If it got on the internet, it can go worldwide. And so, yeah, we did a little syndicated radio program for, I don't know, we did it about 5 years, I think. Brandon was the voice of it, big old booming voice, and I was the behind the scenes guy, helping put it together every week. And we had a ball. We probably on a dozen stations at the biggest time, so it was not like a gigantic thing, but we just enjoyed, getting the music out there and introducing people to internet related things to do with the music. But all that to say this.
Thank you, Mark.
We had a little segment on Worldwide Southern Gospel that called The Best You've Never Heard. And what I do is I would just try to find artists from different places and all that you didn't hear on local radio or you didn't see on the big stages and all like that. And we would include it on the program. I'd always reach out to them, make sure that they were all right with us using that. And, usually they were excited for it to be a part. And I came across this song. This was two brothers and a sister. Brad and Jay Phillips, I believe, were the brothers' names. Their sister was Carrie. This would have been back in early 2000s, maybe 2002, 2001. So, 20 something years ago. So these kids are not just teenagers singing anymore. These, we're talking people that's pushing 40 now, these guys. And I don't even know if the group is still singing as Common Destiny. That's what they were called, as Common Destiny. But I came across this song, and it was another one of those. It just hit me right in the heart. Let me tell you, I just couldn't believe that more people wasn't hearing these kids and hearing the message in this song. How quick pretty much any of us are, especially if you catch us on a bad day, how quick we are to judge somebody else and to talk about the faults of other people. And that's the idea. I mean, what did Jesus say when he was asked about somebody that people perceived as has thoughts? Well, he said, if we say it in Alabama terms, any of y'all standing around here got no sin in your life, then you just throw the first rock at them. Okay.
Yep.
That's what he said. That's the idea in this song. It's called Just Throw Your Stones Away.
And let me get that going here from Common Destiny.
They had heard a rumor she was at it again. She wandered back into the trap of her old familiar sin. And as they dragged her through the city, they found Jesus waiting there. They gathered stones and raised them in the air. And as she stood there crying, he wrote in the dirt alone. He looked at them and said that he who has no sin cast the first stone. And he said, you throw your stones in anger. You throw your stones in judgment every day. And you throw your stones to make yourself feel better. I think it's time you throw your stones away. We criticize because the world doesn't live the way we do. But if not for the grace of God, we would be there too. We're quick at pointing fingers when we disagree, but we're slow at reaching out to those in need. And as another soul lays there dying all alone, in our hearts we cast another stone. And we throw our stones in anger. And we throw our stones in judgment every day. And we throw our stones to make ourselves feel better. I think it's time we throw our stones away. And we throw our stones in anger. And we throw our stones in judgment every day. And we throw our stones to make ourselves feel better. I think it's time we throw our stones away. I think it's time we throw our stones away.
Boy, howdy, isn't that a timely song these days? And Throw your stones away from common destiny. I don't
Exactly.
think that I've heard that before. If I have, I don't remember it. So,
Well, shame on me that I didn't share it with you before now.
and you may have, I don't know, but
Those kids were out of Woodruff, South Carolina, is where they lived, and the oldest, I can't remember which one of the boys was older, but he wrote the song,
yeah,
and they were all teenagers at that time that I found it. There was a site on the internet back in that day when things were really getting rolling called mp3.com.
right.
And that hosted MP3 files, and that's where I found them. I spent a lot of my time searching that for, there was tons of all kinds of other music, but as I searched really hard, I would find gospel music out there and Southern gospel, and that's where I found that song. And yeah, it's been in my playlist ever since.
So we'll give a shout out to Boo. He's been kind of the one that's been doing some digging for us. He's our research and development department.
Oh, okay.
Brad and Jay Phillips and their sister Carrie, isn't that what you told me?
Yeah.
From Woodruff, South Carolina, Common Destiny. We need to find them.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to Facebook stalk them or
right. I kind of did some looking around, and I couldn't even find online anymore a decent picture that was a high enough quality. I found a little bitty picture, and the people wouldn't hardly been able to see it. But yeah, I would like to know. I'd be interested to know if they're still ministering through music, because they obviously got a gift.
which I'm off. I mean, I can't see myself now, so tell me if something goes wrong. But I'm looking. I'm doing a quick Facebook.
Yeah, now you might find them on there.
Search.
I'll have to admit, I did not search Facebook, so you might find them. I know Carrie, a few years after I first discovered him, did get married, so her name would not be Phillips anymore. But you might could find
Which I
one or
just
both
found a
boys.
Brad Phillips that lives in Woodruff, South Carolina. So,
There you go.
yep. And one of his first posts is one that he shared, and so I bet that's him because it's looking forward to seeing everyone at the Church of the Mill Woodruff campus to celebrate Carol Phillips' life. So get ready to worship. So
Okay, wow.
and,
Yeah, we'll have to send them a link and tell them about we're in there to listen to it, and let them know we're still playing them,
yep,
and find out if they're still making new music too. So
absolutely. So there you go. We'll do some more research on that for next time.
all right.
A while ago, I said that I missed Kay at Mount Zion Sunday, and she chimed in and said, I had to work. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Life goes
I'm
on.
fixing to get into that stretch as well, but I talked about Bonus Daddy Avon. Can I move on into the song that's on your list that features him?
Do it. Ain't that called a segue? Go right ahead.
Something like that.
Yeah.
One of the things you're right on one of the two, but when we joined the Colombians, well, you and Dad first, and me a little bit later, but that first album that we did, or that y'all did, called Here They Come, the New Colombians, it was called. And there was a song on there that Avon was featured on. It was always one of my favorites. So can we just go ahead and play it right now, or you want to tell the Avon story?
Please do. Play it.
All right.
Play it.
Here they come, the Colombians, and it'll be joy.
Battles all around me, troubles or outings, so much confusion everywhere. Things in every place that I never dreamed of, such an uneasiness in the air. I don't know how long the Lord's gonna tarry, but I'll be ready when He calls for me. And it's so good just to know Him. It'll be joy when I see Him. With great love I'm gonna greet Him. It'll be joy when my Savior carries me home. It'll be joy when I hear the trumpet sound. Joy, I'll be heaven bound. And it's so good just to know Him. It'll be joy when I see Him. With great love I'm gonna greet Him. It'll be joy when my Savior carries me home. Love unspoken, promises broken, envy and strife on every hand. No use to think that I'm gonna change it. These are the seeds of a mortal man. But you know the Lord has promised me heaven, a beautiful place not made with hand. And it's so good just to know Him. It'll be joy when I see Him. With great love I'm gonna greet Him. It'll be joy when my Savior carries me home. It'll be joy when I trumpet sound. Joy, I'll be heaven bound. And it's so good just to know him. It'll be joy when I see him with great love. I'm going to meet him. It'll be joy when my Savior carries me home. Joy when I hear the trumpet sound. It's so good just to know him. It'll be joy when I see him with great love. I'm gonna greet him. It'll be joy when my Savior carries me home. Oh, it'll be joy when my Savior carries me home.
Yes, sir. Colombians and It'll Be Joy. And I was I went while I was listening to it and enjoying it and doing my little happy dance here in my chair. But that picture was at Probst Memorial United Methodist Church in Millport, just around the corner from our house. And from left to right there, yeah, you peek over there and see it. But, that's Ken Cook on the left, and then I'm not going to go standing or sitting, so just from left to right. Then Neil, them is that Elvis sideburns, or your hair was that long?
My hair was that long. Can you believe that?
And then Don Shepard, and then James Jones in the middle there, and then Dad, Joe Champion, and then Mark Jones. I think he had just celebrated his 8th birthday, it looks like, and then Avon standing there on the right. And here they come now. And I found this while we were doing it, but we, the Bama Boys, a little bit later, and I can't remember why. Were we going to do an album, or do you remember? But we went back to Probst and did a photo shoot with Carolyn. Excuse me, I had to cough there. Carolyn Robinson. I think she took these pictures, but we did that one. And that was the Bama
same
Boys.
Place.
And Neil and Jimmy looked like they're CIA agents or Secret Service agents or something.
Yeah.
But from left to right, that's Mark. I think he'd celebrated his 16th birthday by that time.
Yeah.
And then Dad, and then Neil, and then Brent Aldridge in the middle there played guitar for us, and then Jimmy Thomas, and then me, and then Avon. So
yeah,
we didn't do the exact same pose, but I thought that was a kind of a good study in contrast there. And for whatever reason, we did it in black and white, but I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, I think just at that time, that particular group of Bama Boys, we didn't have any pictures, and Daddy just got them together to just have some current pictures, and that's where we went to have them done. But when that song was playing, thinking about Ken Cook that you're singing with now with Faithful Friends, and just something on that song that was just like signature to me. I always think about is that on that last chorus, on his second "It'll Be Joy" part, he goes joy. When he goes up that one time, that was all, man. It's like I sit in anticipation, waiting on that line. It's like I love it, I love it, I love it, and of course I love Avon's bass on that as well.
Absolutely. All right, we're over an hour now.
Well,
it gets by in a hurry, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I got one more song I picked out to talk about and to think about. And there is going to be a singing July 23rd, Lefevre Quartet, Fayette, Alabama. I hope y'all have written that down already. If you hadn't, do so. Yeah. July 23rd, 6 p.m., Fayette Civic Center, Fayette, Alabama, Lefevre Quartet. You get to hear Faithful Friends and Chosen Witness.
There's your scrolling information if you want to set it down somewhere.
Yep, that's it. We want y'all to start thinking about these as regular things and just plan on it. Let it be something that you do and tell others and get them there as well. Even somebody maybe don't even know they like gospel music, get them there that night. That'll be the time that they start liking it. So when they get to hear a group like the Lefevre Quartet.
Before we get into that last song, let me do this because we had some folks chiming in. Linda Hine just sent us a heart. So
well, look at that. Hey,
with us tonight, Linda.
Yeah.
Kay said, thank you so much for playing this. Love to hear Daddy sing and y'all too. And that's right. We love to hear Avon sing too. So.
Yeah, we do. We do.
That's how I took that when I read it. So
yeah.
And then look, Carolyn's here. Carolyn said she remembered that picture and that time. So she was our staff photographer for a lot of years, in addition to being our drummer for a while too. So,
and we're talking about film photography too. Wasn't no digital stuff. It was on film.
Mm-hmm. But what I don't know. I may protest and say I'm not sure if I like this because
Well,
did I sing on my did
I'm
I sing
calling
on
you.
my did I
Yes,
sing on my way to heaven or did you?
I'm
I
calling
did,
your
didn't I?
number twice tonight.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Absolutely.
That ain't right. I may have to just we may
No,
have to play
no,
a
no,
bonus song so I can play you some. You're the best
no.
singer of the family, so
No, no, I always thought this was a good one that we put down. The first recording the Bama Boys ever did, the "Where Are You" album, which it was just on a cassette and 8-track, and was just a
mm-hmm.
pretty picture of an old church is the picture that was on it. Because Daddy got sick the week before when we were supposed to have pictures made, and we couldn't get pictures, so we just had him put a church on the front of it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. Daddy
I
had
remember that.
had pneumonia, was actually in the hospital when we were supposed to be having pictures made. And instead of delaying having the CD, we just put a stock picture of a pretty church on the front of it. But
Wouldn't it have been cool if we'd had a Photoshop back then?
it would have been something.
We could have
For
invented a
sure.
picture. So.
Yeah, we could have. Yeah, but
Anyway, you want to play
always,
this one?
yeah, I always thought you did a good job on this one. I guess, I don't know that a quartet did this one back in the day or anything. To me, it was, I first heard it from Walt Mills. I guess it was a Walt Mills song. I mean, they played him on Southern Gospel Radio singing it, but I don't remember it. Even I did a quick search and didn't really see any record as far as way back. Now, maybe a couple of more current quartets have recorded it, but this would have been in the 80s, late 80s, I guess, is when we recorded it. But a song that says, "I'm on my way to heaven."
Let's see if I can get it going. Here we go.
Play it, Mark.
Sure, I've had ups and downs, and sorrows and frowns have passed my way. But I've paid no attention, dropped the contention, had no time to stay. Problems only weigh you down, and tall sunny skies have turned to gray. Well, I'm on my way to heaven, and the journey gets sweeter every day. Well, I'm on my way to heaven, and the journey gets sweeter every day. Walking with Jesus, talking with Jesus, all along the way. Well, my soul gets so happy, I shout and I sing night and day. Well, I'm on my way to heaven, and the journey gets sweeter every day. God was good enough to save me and wash all my old sins away. Now he leads me and guides me, protects me and hides me, and keeps me each day. And I know that he loves me, for he entered into my heart to stay. I said I'm on my way to heaven, and the journey gets sweeter every day. Well, I'm on my way to heaven, and the journey gets sweeter every day. Walking with Jesus, talking with Jesus, all along the way. Well, my soul gets so happy, I shout and I sing night and day. Well, I'm on my way to heaven, and the journey gets sweeter every day. I said I'm on my way to heaven, and the journey gets sweeter every day.
All right, then. There you go. Some Bama Boys music. No, I don't want to hear It'll Be Joy just right now, but hang on a second. I mean, I got too much stuff going on here. Wait a minute. Let me do this and do that. I got to get the picture down. That was that version of the Bama Boys. Lee was our special guest singer from time to time, but that was us when we made that recording. That was early 80s, wasn't it, Neil? Because didn't we do that before we did Payday in Heaven, and that was like in 85, I think, wasn't it?
Okay, maybe you're right. Yeah,
I mean, I don't
yeah.
know, but
Maybe it was a little
I
earlier
was
than I was
thinking it was
thinking.
that one was first, and then Payday in Heaven like in around 85, and then Ours and Others around 87
Okay,
or
yeah,
something like that.
that sounds right. Yeah, it was probably the early '80s. You're right. Yep.
But yeah, and I love this comment. We had some more comments coming in here. Kay's like, y'all were so young. Thanks for the reminder.
Well, so were you, Kay. You just didn't make it into that picture.
Yeah. Old sis listening in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Hi there, Chris. 143. That's John Gordon's sister.
Oh, okay.
You know, the 143, you know what that means, don't you? I
What does
love
that
you.
mean? Well,
There's
of
one
course.
letter in I, 4 in love, and 3 in you. So that was a John Gordon thing that we kept going here.
Gotcha.
Linda said that brings a tear. So sweet. Yes, Linda. My voice at that time brought a tear to a lot of people, but it wasn't for the same reasons, I don't think. But
Oh, goodness, goodness.
but yeah, that was, and I think it was probably more like 84, 85 maybe, because I can hear myself when I went to Brewer State. It was then. 'Cause I graduated in May of '84, and then I started at Brewer in that August, September, and I was in the choir at Brewer, and the choir teacher, was real strict on us about saying, and that's when I started my, let's say words right. Let's don't chew stuff when,
Okay.
I'll meet you in the morning. No, you won't. You'll meet me in the morning, but
Yeah.
and I heard myself doing some of that in that right there. And I was like, yeah, no, that was probably after I went to Brewer and somebody tried to teach me how to talk plain. But
Yeah.
anyway, get some of the twang out, I reckon. But
There you go.
anyway, what else? Anything
Well,
else
all
you wanna
right.
do?
That's all I had to pull out of my pocket now, unless you got something.
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay. All right.
I'm not
We
going
can
to let you
just
off.
see.
I'm not going to let
We,
you off that easy. I'm just going to I'm trying to decide what I want to play.
I'll go ahead and say that we've got 2/3 of next year already booked for the Fayette Civic Center, and when we book
Really?
it, when we book it all, we'll let y'all know who it is. But we've already got 2 of the March, July, November dates booked for next year, and then when we fill that third one, we'll go ahead and reveal it. So we're serious about this thing now. We'll be 2 years in it as far as commitment at that point. So y'all just got to come. I don't want me to sing to Chris and Chris to sing to me. I want y'all to come, and us too to listen to whoever we bring in. So y'all just need to come to the Fayette Civic Center and hear some good Southern gospel. July 23rd is that next opportunity that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For Lefevre Quartet.
You sung "Consider the Lilies" on that same album, didn't you?
I don't think so. No, I don't.
Who did
No, you don't. No, yeah, I did.
I didn't think. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I did. Boy, I hadn't listened to that one in 100
I ain't
years.
letting you off that early.
Oh,
that
boy.
easy. I mean, not early, but
Okay.
easy. I haven't played Neil. He's my
You're talking
favorite
about some
singer.
twang. There's going to be some twang here, buddy.
All right, here it is. "Consider the Lilies" off of that Bama Boys "Where Are You" album.
Consider the lilies, they don't toil nor spin, but there's not a king with more splendor than them. Consider the sparrow, they don't plant nor sow, but they're fed by the Master who watches them grow. We have a heavenly Father above, with eyes full of mercy and a heart full of love. He really cares when your head is bowed low. Consider the lilies. sun went to shine. He kisses the flowers each morning with dew, but he's not too busy to care about you. We have a heavenly Father above, with eyes full of mercy and a heart full of love. He really cares when your head is bowed low. Consider the lilies, and then you will know. Consider the lilies, and then you will know.
Are there any questions? There better not be. That's my brother right there. He can sing. Consider the lilies. Thank you for letting me play that. I was going to anyway, whether you wanted me to or not. But
My.
I just know my mic got all out of whack here. All right.
Uh-oh. Whack it
There
back.
you go.
There you go.
All right, then. Anything else worth telling?
I don't reckon. I mean, as that was playing, I was thinking back to when we recorded that, and it was on the back room in a radio shack where two
Yep.
guys had a 4-track recorder back there, and we had one track was the 3 instruments, piano, bass, and drums. So if one of us messed up, we had to do it again, but it didn't take us too long to lay them all down. And then we did all the vocals on the second track. And then they left a couple of tracks open, and one of those guys played guitar on that on My Way to Heaven. They added a couple other things on there, but yeah, that was we got a little bit of a taste of like they used to do it way back when it was like all or nothing. If you messed up, you just started all over. We had a little taste of that.
And I want to say that was the first time I'd ever used mallets on a cymbal.
Oh, really?
that big cymbal flourish thing there. It was in there a time or two. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, all right then. I'm glad we got to get back live. As far
I
as I
am.
know, we can do it again next week. I think I can. You?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm looking forward to it already.
Does anybody else want us to? We'll give you a second to comment or not, or if you just want us to stop, we'll consider that too. But
Yeah.
if y'all want to chime in right quick, y'all want us to keep doing this or not? So just tell us. There's a few of you still around, so
Oh,
chime
there's
in and let us know right quick. So
looking and looking and looking, and yeah, okay. We'll check in a few days when more people get a chance to look at it.
so yeah, if you're watching this a little bit later, just let us know. But we don't want to bore you. But
Oh, thank you, honey, sugar baby darling. Loretta said she wanted us to.
Boo says 2 hours. No, I got to go lay down here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Judy said yes too. So thank y'all.
That's all we
appreciate
need.
that.
That's all the votes we need right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's Miss Jean Morris. Hey, Miss Jean.
Look at there.
Yeah, she said keep going. So good to see
Okay.
you and good to hear from you. And Carolyn said keep it up too. So
All right.
all right. Well, if y'all want to, we'll suffer through
Yeah.
a few
We'll
more of it.
see what else we can dig up.
And if there's something y'all want us to play or to talk about or whatever, drop that in the comments. It doesn't have to be right this second, but you can go back and watch it later or put a comment on it anytime. But
And we'll get some more on here with us to talk too. We was talking about Butch earlier. I'm gonna have to hit him up, Brandon Porter.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one to have in here with us one week.
and I want to, as we get a little closer to July, get Jay Perrick in here one night. I'm sure he'll probably join us.
Yeah,
We'll
that'll
try
be
to
fun.
work that out and get Jay on here because that.
Yep.
What is it? Country Boy Eddie used to say, if we have Jay on here, we'll have more fun than what is it, a gallon of ants and a barrel of molasses or something like that. I don't
Don't
know.
remember.
I don't.
Maybe you shouldn't try to tell it if you don't know it.
Yeah, I know. Till next time. It is better to have loved and lost. Wait, old hog forgot that one. All right.
Yes. Oh man.
Oh, I
My
shouldn't have gone
goodness.
down that path. All right, here we
Yeah.
go. But yeah, thank y'all
All
for
righty.
joining us. We appreciate
Yes.
it. Don't forget July 23rd, November 19th, and then we'll start telling you about the next year's singings. Hey, Eli. And well, we may get Eli on here for long.
All
Get him to
righty.
chime in about some stuff. So,
There you go.
but yeah, appreciate y'all watching and listening to us tonight. And unless something drastic happens, we'll plan on seeing you here right back here next Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. You got anything else?
No, sounds good. I'll be looking forward to it. See y'all then.
Thank y'all. See ya.